What's up, Lions fans? Week 3 is already upon us. The Detroit Lions head out to the desert to take on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Red Hot Cardinals, who just destroyed the LA Rams this past week. Should be an awesome game. I'm coming at you with 3 keys to victory.
Major key alert.
A couple items that we should watch and keep our eyes on as this game progresses on Sunday afternoon. A couple of indicators of where the Detroit Lions stand after that devastating loss against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past Sunday. You know what? It's the NFL. We forgive and forget. We move on to the next week. So let's go. Key number 1. You have to contain Kyler Murray. His legs are deadly, and he has an awesome ability of keeping his eyes down the field as he's scrambling outside of the pocket, keeping the play alive. So the big thing is being true and being disciplined to our pass lanes, keeping that pocket contained. Aiden Hutchinson, you can't go wild like you did this past weekend. You have to be disciplined in that rushing lane, and you have to contain the explosive plays. Marvin Harrison this past week went off, and he showed us what his potential is. I don't want to see that potential against the Detroit Lions. In week 1, the Buffalo Bills were able to contain Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr., so the Lions need to do the same. Go back, watch that film, see what worked, see what didn't work, and then replicate and duplicate. The Lions have this ability to give up yardage to quarterbacks that are mobile, that can extend plays. You can think of Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. Justin Fields tore us up last year twice. So we need to show that we can contain mobile quarterbacks, because as we progress through the season and even into the postseason, guess what? You're going to face them. You're going to see those type of players. So this is a great litmus test for this defense to keep everything in front of them and contain Kyler Murray to the best of their ability. With that, he only has Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride as his pass catchers. I feel like the pass catching and the receiving core for the Arizona Cardinals is a weak spot. So this is a good opportunity for our defense to step up and contain this explosive Arizona Cardinals offense. Key number 2, we got to work on our red zone offense. As of right now, the Detroit Lions only have a 27.27% red zone efficiency rate. They are 3 of 11 on scoring touchdowns in the red zone. That is abysmal. They're bottom 4th in the league right now. It's awful. So we need to get better. Ben Johnson, Jared Goff, I'm looking at you. It's time to step up. They need to get better in the red zone. Lean on that run game. Assert your dominance. Be the team that you're supposed to be, and show that what we did in 2023 wasn't an anomaly, that we were a strong offensive team. Last year, the Detroit Lions were 2nd in the league in red zone efficiency, only behind the 49ers. And do you know why that is? It's because we can run the ball. And we totally abandoned that this past week. Like I said, we're 3 for 11 in the red zone. Last week, we went 1 for 7. That is just piss poor football. That's not what this team is about. This is not how we play football. So Ben Johnson, I'm calling on you. Time to stand up and step up. Call on that offensive line. Be dominant. Push the line of scrimmage and show that you are dominant and you can impose your will on the opposing defense. I fully expect the Detroit Lions to lean on the run game, lean on David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs in this game. I feel like the Detroit Lions have such a better offensive line than Arizona Cardinals' defensive line. And I think this is a game where the Detroit Lions show how they can beat up on a mid to subpar defense and assert their dominance. Key number 3, outside corners need to develop that chemistry. I feel like Carlton Davis and Terrion Arnold still haven't found their mojo. I think we're still trying to piece that together, get our rhythm, get our groove. These guys took 0 snaps together in the preseason, so they weren't able to develop that chemistry, get the flow of the game together. Granted, they did take snaps together in practices and training camps and joint practices, but that's not games. That's not Sunday afternoon. That's not going up against a Marvin Harrison Jr. or Mike Evans or Cooper Kupp. We're not facing off against those elite wide receiver groups that we've seen through the first 2 weeks, but week number 3 against the Arizona Cardinals gives us a really good opportunity for those outside corners to get their groove back. I know Terry Arnold was a little banged up. He had the big wrap and gauze around his hand. That might have affected his confidence as he went through the game on Sunday afternoon. But this is the NFL. You have to bounce back, play through those injuries, and I think he's going to have a pretty good matchup this week. I fully expect Carlton Davis to be on Marvin Harrison Jr. for majority of the game. And then Terry Arnold will probably focus on Michael Wilson, the Arizona Cardinals number 2, number 3 receiver. So I think that's a favorable matchup for him to get his confidence in the NFL. The first 2 weeks were just, brutal matchups. You're going against elite wide receiver groups. So this is a chance for him to bounce back and develop that confidence as we go through the year. Overall, I expect this to be a bounce back game for the Detroit Lions. I expect them to travel on the road to Arizona and show us the team that they're supposed to be. The Bucs, it was a tough matchup, man. They wanted their revenge. We kicked their ass twice last year. Baker Mayfield is a fighter. He's a dog. I admire everything that he is about, being traded from multiple teams and still having that moxie to go in and into a rough environment on a Sunday afternoon and have a phenomenal game. And, Kyler Murray, the new Call of Duty isn't out yet, so he still has that laser focus. Expect a good game from him. But I think the talent level of these two teams is, there's a sizable gap there. Expect the Lions to go in and have a good game because they have the talent. The biggest concern is keeping Kyler contained. But if they can do that, if they can keep him below, let's say 50 to 40 yards rushing on the ground, the Lions win. I think the Lions win this one 28-14. They do well on the road against the Arizona Cardinals, and we jump up to 2-1, and we're going up against the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football. Here we go.